Hi, my name is Sam Chowdhury. I'm a real estate broker in the state of Texas. Wanted to talk to you about commercial real estate today. It's something major which is coming down the pipeline, and it's going to be very, very beneficial for us to know about it exactly how we can take advantage of it. So, as you already know, the government actually the Senate and the House just passed the debt ceiling, right? So, what does that mean for commercial real estate? Because of that, the Federal Reserve is about to flood the market with 1.1 trillion dollar worth of treasury bills, right? And the treasury bill, the interest rate on literally a short term or a 3 month treasury bill, it is 4.25%, right? Or and at the same time, 2 year treasury bill, the interest rate on that which investor can get is 5.48%. Now these are really, really good interest rates, right? So what is that doing to the market? Well, because of that, the a lot of investors or a lot of people are taking their money out of the bank and they're going to go buy this treasury bills when the stock market is uncertain. Stock market, crypto market, commodities market, whatever you want to call it, right? They want to have a sure thing. They do not know what's coming down the pipeline. They want to make sure they have a treasury bill which is 100% guaranteed. There's almost like no risk there, right? But what is that creating? The banks are already starving, right? Starving for deposits. Banks were running drunk. They were living large, having so much fun and good time during the pandemic because they were flushed with cash, right? The interest rate was very, very low and they were lending out money. Anytime you deposit your money in the bank, they lend out anywhere from 95 to 97% of every dollar they receive. Anytime they have to meet their withdrawal obligation, all they do is borrow the money from Federal Reserve. Now, all these banks have loaned out all of these big commercial deals, syndicated deal, retail centers at maybe 3.25% or maybe 3.5% or 3.7%. But for them to borrow from the Federal Reserve right now, it is almost 4.99 or almost 5%. So every transaction deal, the bank is losing money, right? Every transaction deal, they're losing money. And in fact, by the way, the banks are dumping their portfolios or they're selling their portfolios even at a loss to get them off their book. I'm talking about commercial real estate loan. Now, what's going to happen when the Federal Reserve is going to flood the market with $1.1 trillion worth of T-bills? Everybody's going to go and buy these treasury bills. The banks are starved for the deposit. If they do not have enough deposit, they can't lend money out. Hence, commercial real estate financing is about to get even tougher, right? I was in 2 or 3 seminars approximately a couple of weeks ago or so, and the normal interest rate, which is almost close to, for the residential, is 6.75 to 7%, but on the commercial side, it is going above that, 7.5 to 8% or so. And if you need a rescue loan or if you need a bridge loan, and there are companies out there who are trying to willing to give it to you, it is 12 to 14%. 12 to 14, it's absolutely crazy, right? So what's going to happen is short-term commercial investors will have to pay much more higher interest to acquire the assets. So is that how is it going to create an opportunity for us? Let's take a look at this, okay? Because of all those loans which were lended out or lent out, some of them are, or actually almost 15% of them are in a 3 year roll around term, right? That they have to be refinanced every 3 years or so, or every 3 or 5 years or so. And when they lend that, hypothetically, when they lend that money out was back in 2021, and now we're in 2023, the interest rates are drastically different, right? So at that time they were borrowing at 3.25, and now it is 7 plus or 8%. They can't borrow anymore because if they borrow that much, that's a 5% hit on their expenses. Instead of property making profit, they're going to be negative cash flow. So what is the two options they have, right? Either they can sell the property right now, right, at the same time, or they have to sell the property. Actually, they have no other option, or somebody else come in, or they actually end up taking more investors in and try to change the LTV and try to bring down the interest rate as much as possible. Both of the scenarios are not going to be good for the investors on that, right? So that will create a really good opportunities for us, right? Which is coming down the pipeline. So commercial real estate space is going to become extremely attractive, right? A lot of people say, hey, so just to kind of give you an idea, first quarter of 2023, overall in the United States, commercial real estate volume was down by 55%, right? But for the Houston market, our commercial real estate transaction volume down was 77%. I'm not worried about Houston, and the reason is we're still got a lot of people are moving in here. Houston had a little bit over $120,000 people who moved here, so we're sitting pretty. We're going to be okay. Retail, right? On different categories, what kind of real estate we're going to be talking about? Retail is doing great, right? There's almost like 97%, 98% occupied. We're doing good. Industrial, depending on which industrial we're talking about, is doing great, right? Industrial, big warehouses are doing great for the time being, but it's starting to kind of slow down. Flex space, which was the hottest thing, flex space, be careful on that, right? You definitely have to watch out for that. At the same time, office space, a lot of people ran away from the office space, right? But I very strongly believe that office will become very attractive, not right away, in approximately a year and a half or 2 years or so. And the reason for that is companies like Farmer, right, or Google, or Apple, they're pushing their employees to come back. In fact, Farmer said no more remote working. You have to be present basically in the office, right? Because if you can do your job remotely, we can also send your job remotely overseas also. So it's not going to be good for them, right? But for the time being, where do we pay attention to, right? Multifamily, hey, people always need a place to stay, right? So multifamily is going to be attractive. There's going to be some opportunities coming through. We absolutely just need to keep our eyes open and basically keep an eye on anything which is going to be coming through. There are some sellers, in fact, who also don't want to sell. They would rather hold on to the losing asset. But I think as the time will progress, those are going to dwindle down. If you have any question, or if you're looking to buy commercial real estate, don't hesitate to reach out. My name is Sam Chaudhry. Phone number is 832-419-4700. Talk to you then.